Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day, guys. He's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. Go to toppingtechnologies.com to learn more. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going into the business part of the podcast, you have Volkswagen. Well, their Q3 results are in, and the profit continues to stumbles about as bad as Stellantis, which is terrible. Remember, Stellantis, their profits down about 50%, revenue down around 42%. They're not doing great, and Volkswagen not venturing much better. Now, this comes to us thanks to the OG search engine, Yahoo, which I was going to say at one point was bigger than Google, believe it or not. They say, quote, Volkswagen Q3 profit tumbles, signaling more woes for global automakers. Although, funny enough, not all of them, because Tesla knocked it out of the park. Last week, their stock jumped by 21.7% because they beat all the analysts and all expectations for the number of sales and number of units they were to push out, and their profitability skyrocketed yet again. So, not all companies. Now, scrolling down, you can see the sad little stock ticker that is the Volkswagen stock price, which, again, now, this is financial advice, and granted, by the time this video is rendered and uploaded, it'll be different because that's what the stock market does, but currently trading for about $10.14 per share. Now, going to the article, which again is credited to Pross, he says, quote, Volkswagen reported lackluster Q3 results earlier this week on Wednesday. Another sign large automakers are mirrored with softening global demand and competition from Chinese automakers. Or, let's be honest, when you all read that, thanks to Trump, you guys think, Chinese automakers, they're coming for China. Maybe it's just me. Now, they continue saying, quote, for Q3, Volkswagen reported a net operating profit that slid, it slid 42%. Ooh, that's rough. To 2.86 billion euros, which will translate their monopoly money to our monopoly money, which correlates to 3.1 billion US dollars. The revenue fell only 0.5%. Oh, jeez. That is terrible. Their profits crumbled, but the revenue, relatively speaking, is about the same. They say, quote, more worrisome was the operating margin falling 3.6%, down from 6.2% a year ago, with global deliveries down 8.3% to 2.12 million vehicles. They say Volkswagen, which counts Audi, Bentley, and Porsche among its brands. How dare they? They've got Ducati, one of the most fanciest motorcycles out there, as well as Lamborghini. Now, granted, Volkswagen has a huge portfolio, but how could they forget about some of the most exciting ones? Granted, you know me, Porsche's best because they have 3 pedals, also known as manual transmission. Every car should have that by default, obviously, but I partially digress. Now, they say, quote, they are still struggling with high production costs and softening demand, and in China, it's joint venture and under pressure from domestic automakers like BYD and Li Auto, which, yeah, BYD is growing exponentially, and a lot of people are speculating it's going to pass Tesla pretty quick. They already did last quarter, but that was BYD has hybrid sales as well as EV sales. So a lot of people debate, have they really passed Tesla in terms of EV manufacturing? Not yet, but the trend is moving that way. They say, quote, results year to date reflect a challenging market environment and underlining the importance of delivering and performance programs we have launched across the group. This from Arno Altitz, the Volkswagen Group CFO and COO, which, again, it still blows my mind that the CFO of Volkswagen publicly said they have about 24 months to turn the Volkswagen brand around, and it's not viable as a business. And again, that's not the Volkswagen portfolio, that's specifically the Volkswagen brand, which in the Jetta GTI with the stick shift, the GTI with the stick shift, that was iconic. Of course, you know, the Jetta from the good old Fast and Furious films. But yeah, not a lot of people buying. I know 1 or 2 friends have bought Volkswagen, like a VW vehicle the past couple years, and yeah, let's just say the reliability is not great. Now, he continues to say, quote, Volkswagen brand reported an operating margin of only 2% after 9 months. This highlights the urgent need for significant cost reductions and efficiency gains, which that's not going to be easy because they have a pretty big union representative in Europe, and they're actually saying, we might go on strike right now. Yeah. They say, quote, Volkswagen maintained its 24-month full-year guidance, which was cut last month. VW said it expects net cash flow from automotive operations would be around 2 billion euros, down from 2.5 billion to 4.5 billion euros previously, with revenue falling by 0.7% to 320 billion euros, which correlates to about 356.7 billion US dollars. You can see one of those funny buses, which maybe they'll finally get to production, maybe, which, granted, most people would say it's an abomination to the original Volkswagen bus because, well, the original one was reliable, cheap, and this one being EV will not be any of those. They say, quote, Volkswagen also maintained a profit margin forecast of around 5.6% in 2024, down from the prior 6.5 to 7% estimate. Which, yeah, that's not good at all. And Tesla's doing like 3x that. They say in China, sales fell 12% year over year, reflecting a weakening demand for its products versus competitors. To shore up its China operations, VW said earlier this year it would partner with China's Xpeng, spelled XPENG, to produce 2 new electric vehicles with the Volkswagen brand, powered by Xpeng software and EV engineering, which ridiculous. White labeling never works in the long term. Granted, every automotive company has done this for like literally more than half a century. It's not a new thing to slap on your logo with someone else and just pay a royalty. But again, it's not going to help your brand long term. You might get a short sales bump, but no, it's long term not very advantageous. They say, quote, Volkswagen premium brand Audi also announced this year that it has signed a deal with Chinese state-owned SAIC to develop new EVs for the mainland, which, again, you're not going to beat China. I don't think that's going to be good for them. They say Bank of America analyst Horst believes VW is selling EVs at a loss in China until its new EV design by Xpeng will arrive, which, again, when China's BYD, that's one of the most successful automotive brands over there. I don't know if, I mean, I really don't know how any foreign automotive company is going to make a profit these days in China or really flourish. Let's just say I'm pretty skeptical to say the least. And Ken, VW used to make a great product. It used to be, cheap and reliable. And I mean, it's really lost most of those value props. It even lost the fun in terms of, most of them used to have three pedals main transmission, which shot by default, obviously. But yeah, I'm not too surprised that, everything's continuing to crumble at VW. Do you know anyone in your life who owns, well, maybe we should clarify, who voluntarily owns, like they didn't inherit one, a VW product, specifically the Volkswagen brand? I know one person I met in the past, no, 2 people I've met in the past 24 months who have had a VW vehicle. And one was very happy and one was very irate. So the ratio is granted anecdotal, very small, sample size, but still doesn't really bode well for the brand. But let me know in the comments because, as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.